Welcome to the Reconnection Club podcast, the show that helps parents heal troubled relationships with their adult sons and daughters. I'm your host, psychotherapist Tina Gilbertson. Each week I'll offer you compassion, clarity, and personal development tips designed to help you reconnect not only with your child, but with yourself. Now let's get started. Here in the U.S., Thanksgiving Day will soon be upon us. It's supposed to be a time for gratitude, yet many estranged parents, both here and elsewhere, find themselves continuing to give without receiving very much to be grateful for in return. If you've sent gifts, cards, loving texts, money, flowers, or anything else to your adult child without getting a thank you, this week's episode is for you. The scary truth is that if you've been sending cards or gifts without getting a response from an adult child, you could actually prolong your child's estrangement. Here are 5 reasons to avoid shooting yourself in the foot by sending unacknowledged gifts to estranged adult children. Number 1, no contact. If your child specifically asked you not to contact her, she could easily see your gifts not as peace offerings or expressions of love, but as intrusions, boundary violations, and even proof of narcissism on your part. Contact is contact, regardless of the form it takes. Your child doesn't distinguish between gifts and other forms of communication. If she hears from you at all after she asked for no contact, she won't feel seen, heard, cared for, or respected, let alone grateful. In fact, your gifts could very well create an atmosphere that will ruin your chances of reconciliation anytime soon. Number 2, rug sweeping. Gifts and cards that don't make any reference to the fact that you're estranged can be seen as efforts on your part to sweep problems under the rug. What's required for relationship repair is effective communication. Since your child is not up for that right now, hence his silence, it falls entirely to you. Probably the only gift that's truly appropriate during an estrangement is the gift of your effort to understand, accept, and validate your child's point of view, even if all he wants is some time apart to continue growing up. Number 3, questionable intentions. Your child might view your gift giving as hypocritical. Where was that generosity you're showing now, she might ask, when she expressed disappointment, anger, or dissent? Gifts are often viewed with cynicism by estranged adult children. They may even point to your gift giving as proof of your desire to manipulate them or have things your way. Don't give them that ammunition. Number 4, lack of consequences. Someone who removes himself from your life shouldn't receive gifts from you. There should be consequences for cutoff. If he can estrange himself and still get a birthday card and or a gift, why should he reconcile? He has all the perks of a relationship without having to show up for it. Every decision we make has consequences. Don't protect your child from that reality by rewarding unwanted behavior. There is an exception, and that is college-age children who need financial support while they position themselves to begin making a living. Cutting off financial assistance to a child who has no other access to funds could have a major impact, not only on your relationship, but on your child's future prospects. Number 5, misdirected energy. Sending gifts and cards to your child can give you the false impression that you're working on the relationship. When a year or 2 of this one-sided giving has gone by, you may have nothing to show for it but a growing resentment. Instead of sending anything to a child who doesn't want contact right now, the best use of your time, energy, and money is in self-reflection. You might learn things about yourself that can be the keys to this and other relationships. For example, if you can't stop worrying that your estranged child is unhappy, might you be projecting your own unhappiness onto your child? Such projections from parents toward their children are incredibly common, but they're not usually very helpful. The antidote to misdirected energy is self-awareness. That's the key to being able to choose how you do relationships, rather than acting from unconscious impulses. As long as you're thinking about what to send your child and when to send it and whether you get a response and what that might mean, you're not engaging in the self-reflection that could be the key to everything. I know it will be hard to go cold turkey, so to speak, on gift giving. So as we enter the season of gratitude and year-end gift giving, maybe just step down your previous behavior at the very least. What does that mean? Well, if you usually invite your estranged child to family events, maybe don't this year. If you usually send a gift, send just a card this year. If you usually send a card containing money, send an e-card instead. No money. If you usually send a card in the mail, you could go ahead and send one. But in the new year, plan to write or call your child and explain that you've decided to do a better job of respecting their wishes for reduced contact. Tell them it will be hard for you not to reach out on special days, but that you won't be doing that anymore. Instead, you'll think of them and send them your love in spirit. It's important to say that you won't be reaching out on special days, so that there's no question in either of your minds when those days roll around whether you'll be contacting them. You won't. You and I will know what you're doing instead. You'll be removing the risks inherent in one-sided gift giving and engaging in the productive work of self-reflection. Until next time, remember that you are a loving, lovable, and still growing human being. So please take good care of yourself. Bye for now. If you've enjoyed this episode of the Reconnection Club podcast, I invite you to check out reconnectionclub.com. The Reconnection Club is for parents at any stage of estrangement from their adult, child, or children. So whether you've just realized there's trouble between you, you've been living with estrangement for years, or you're newly reconciled but still walking on eggshells, the Reconnection Club is your essential resource for information, support, and continued personal growth. With our courses and workshops, expert interviews, monthly Q&A calls, and a friendly, active community, the Reconnection Club is a wonderful place to be for anyone suffering the pain of estrangement from an adult, child, or children. So check it out at reconnectionclub.com.